Hello everybody, it's Trish. Happy Monday. I am here to answer your questions that you posted a few days ago. I'm going to read them right off the screen. Okay, question number 1. Okay, Trish, I indeed have some questions for you. I'm always stunned by the great selection of music you show and send. You have a great appreciation for many styles and genres of music from around the world. My question is, where did this come from? Do you come from a musical family? Your selections are more involved with casual listener would be into. Hey, okay, okay. He lost my address, so I PM'd him my address. Okay, so, wow. I grew up, listening to, if I wasn't listening to my music, I was listening to my dad's music. He'd be listening to Glenn Miller, Ella Fitzgerald, Henry Mancini, and folks like that. And when he wasn't playing my music, I listened to WABC AM back in the day, 60s and 70s. It wasn't like today. It wasn't like, they stuck to one type of music. Like, they'd be playing, the Beatles and Henry Mancini, and then that, like Martin Denny. They were, that's kind of where I got my, curiosity of music. World music. I, got exposed to it early. And then, I guess in I'll say, what was it, 7th, 8th grade, I guess my dad was going through his collection and, stuff a few albums I didn't listen to anymore. He either gave to me or just discarded them or something. I don't know what he did with them, but I think he gave a few albums to my brother too. But I remember in 8th grade, my father gave me Herb Alpert's Whipped Cream and Other Delights. I listened to that thing, and I liked it. This is it was cocktail music, but I liked the sound of Herb Alpert. I cannot describe why, but something I grew up with, and I liked it, and it, after a rough day of school at the time, I put that on. It was either that or Abbey Road. And then I guess a few years later, I discovered FM, and they used to have this station, Q102, and I'd say that was 78, 79. They were playing, they were eclectic, The DJs kind of had more freedom back in the day to, turn you on to cool music. And I remember them playing Bob Marley, and I'm like, what is this? And I didn't really like it because I couldn't understand what I think it was No Woman, No Cry. And at the time, I'm like, what kind of language is that? No woman, no cry. At the time, I didn't understand it. But I like the beat. So years later, fast forward to mid-80s. My cousin came to stay with us for a little bit, and she gave me this CD. Well, end of the 80s, I'll say. Yeah, end of the 80s. Well, mid-80s, when CDs were popular, and I had just gotten a boombox with a CD player, and she goes, hey, I got a few albums, a few CDs for you to listen to. And one of them was Bob Marley's Legend. And man, I listened to it, and still I didn't really get some of what he was saying, but I liked the beat. So I was like, wow, this is cool. So I put some of those songs on a mixtape of the day, and soon after that, I'll say the 90s, I started looking for more stuff like that, and I found some UB40, some sealed poles at the library, and I was hooked from there on out. And like Harry Belafonte and stuff like that, I was hooked. And I was like, I had got this thirst for reggae. Reggae was my first love as far as world music goes. And then later, when I started doing the CD mixes, I found this group called IMP, and there was another someone gave me I don't think Al was in you heard me talk about Al Telstar. He was in another group. I forget how I found him. I found him on I'm trying to think how I found them. I think, if my memory serves me correctly, it was MySpace. That was my first exposure to, social networking. In fact, I chose MySpace over Facebook at the time. So I forget how I came across him, but we started talking about CD mixes and swapped address, and he sent me a CD of some very cool world music, and I just couldn't stop listening to it. So I started, he pretty much was my mentor as far as getting me educated in world music. And yeah, I've been hooked ever since, and started to go to check out things like Putumayo.com, my friend Ted Smith had a surf shop years ago, and he had a display of Putumayo world music. He said, oh, you like African music, you like this and this and this, and I was hooked, yeah. And then once I started get on to learn about the internet and searching for music online and stuff, I just it took off from there. I started ordering CDs from the library, started ordering CDs from whatever music site, oldies.com, and that other ones. Later I discovered CD Connection 3-4 years ago maybe, and yeah, I just bam, and I just try to expand my education in it, and it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, enough of that. I could go. Oh, by the way, you might want to grab your beverage of choice. This may be an epic video, as my last few has been. Okay. The next question is from Adam 80s Heaven. Questions, huh? Okay, here we go. Will you respond? Okay. What's your top 5 female singers? Wow, my top 5. My top 5. Well, right off the bat, I'd have to say Carly Simon, Carole King, Sharon Jones, Aretha Franklin, and Lorena McKennitt. How's that? Yeah. What is your favorite candy? Ooh, my favorite candy is Reese's. I love Reese's. I try not to eat too much of it, but I love Reese's. Let's see, what? Okay, the next question is from Panix 1960. I am looking forward to seeing the oh, okay, that's not a question, but okay, hold on. Here's the other one. This one's from Panix 1960. If you could go to one beach in the world and take only 2 albums with you, which beach would it be, and what albums would you take? Well, I would love to be sitting on a beach in Jamaica with, oh my God, this is a tough one. And I'd have to take, Abbey Road from the Beatles, and, maybe a Martin Denny, album. Of course, on the beach it would be I would have to be CDs. Okay. 2 questions from High Rant District. What is your favorite tea, and how do you discover new music? Okay, my favorite tea, of course, is Lipton, closely followed by Dilma. I like the Dilma tea. What was the other question? Talk about CRS. I discover new music a few ways, mostly through the library. Once in a while I'll jump on there and just, type in the search bar new music for whatever month I'm in. And that's how I discovered that band Magic. You sifting through and looking through and seeing what new music the library has, and yeah. Okay. Hugh Morgan 74. Have you ever been to the UK? No, but I would love to someday if I win the lottery, and if I had my chance to go overseas. The UK would be my top pick. And although it's not overseas, Hawaii would be my second pick. Okay. Oh no, actually, yeah, it would be the UK, Hawaii, or Jamaica. Okay. The Vinyl Potato says, What are your top 3 albums in your collection? Do you play any instruments, and which instruments would you like to learn? Okay, top 3 albums. Oh my gosh. That's a hard one. It depends on what mood I'm in. Of course, Abbey Road has to be in there. World music, it would have to be Legend and, Steve Miller's Fly Like an Eagle. Bam, right off the top of my head. Let's see, what's next? Oh, Waza asks, I'm curious, do you dream very much, or do you remember your dreams? I'm just wondering. I happen to love dreams and really enjoy my own. Sometimes I do have dreams. But I don't often remember them. Some dreams I do have, and other dreams are just, I do remember one dream I had many years ago. I was walking down the street, and for some reason, the pavement just started to, the street started to melt and cave in. And I ran to a phone booth to, call the police and tell them what's going on. And in my dream, they were driving down the police and just fell right. They were driving down the road and just got sucked into the melting road. It was a weird dream. I'm sitting in the phone booth feeling helpless. Let's see. Okay, one more question, guys. This is from Robert Balbani. Trish, did you grow up listening to music? A lot of music? Do you have a lot of vinyl records in your collection? I did grow up listening to a lot of music through either the radio or my mother had this little, record player that I'd come home and, it would be in like, what was it, the den or the living room? I think it was a living room. And there would be a stack of like 45-cent records, and I would just sit there all afternoon and play them when other kids were out there playing football or tag or whatever. If I had a rough day at school, I would just want to be with myself and my music. I don't have any vinyl in my collection, but I do have a lot of CDs. At one time I did. I think, like before we moved here, I had like 300 records and like 100 45s. But before we moved here, we didn't know, a lot of things were going on. We didn't know if we were going to get this house at all, because when they came to inspect the other house we lived, which I gotta show you that again one day for you newer viewers, they were doing the inspection and they found a water tank in our backyard. So, and we didn't know if that was going to hold up or move, or we were going to have to find another place. So there were a lot of uncertainties, and my sister said, do that one, you get rid of my vinyl, and my sister insists I should get rid of my vinyl and upgrade to CD. You should get a computer and make mixes that way. Well, advancement, I was happy doing the mixtape thing. the thought of having to upgrade scared the living daylights out of me. I'm like, I'd never be able to do that. And I was at the time just getting, acquainted with email. I was just starting to learn the computer. The thought of having to all of a sudden jump into this high-tech world scared the living daylights out of me. But as you can see, it worked out well. And CDs are much lighter than albums. Although there are songs you can't find on CD because they're out of print. And sometimes you get reissue on a compilation, but it's re-recorded and stereo, some of those old obscure things you find on vinyl, like out of Blue F thrift store. And but I love my CDs, I do, but it just I don't know. I like my CDs, but I miss my vinyl. But especially like you're going through you're going through a thrift store, and you're going through like the 45, like, gee, this looks interesting, bam, that looks interesting, bam, oh wait, I love this song, haven't heard it for ages, blam, that kind of, but I managed to adjust, adapt, and years ago I had a list of, before we moved, I wrote down the titles, songs I wanted on CD. I've since lost that list, but I've found most of those songs on iTunes. I'm surprised as heck. I wish I could find that list again, but I think I must have thrown it out because most of all the titles I was looking for, I found. I'm like, wow. So I must have just discarded it. Okay, folks, so that's it for me. I hope everybody has enjoyed this Q&A session. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and like, and after I upload this video, maybe I'll delete that one so that so I won't get bombarded with more questions. Alright, have a good day, everyone. Peace, love, and keep the good tune spinning. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. I hope you are happy with the answers. Take care. Oh,